We all have a habit of doing something or saying something that could be considered unusual by society, so it will perhaps be unfair in some manner to characterize an actor or an actress because of a few bouts of oddities. We really haven't walked a mile in their shoes, so we can't judge them. Our main actor for today, Nicolas Cage, is one of those celebrities who has succumbed to some weird behavior, and he's no stranger to this topic, as he has showcased actions that come off as weird in the common eye. In this video, you'll get a bird's-eye view of the strange things done by Nicolas Cage. The 57-year-old American actor and filmmaker that has won multiple film awards throughout his career is most definitely recognized worldwide. He has even won an award as being one of the best actors in the whole world. Well, in China's perspective at least. He has been casted on numerous films, like Ghost Rider, and in the hit movie series National Treasure, so he's certainly a big figure in the whole film industry. Some may say otherwise, but one cannot doubt the amount of effort he puts into his character when the camera starts rolling. Yes, he's once ingested a live cockroach for 1988's Vampire Kiss. It's also true that he improvised by smashing a pool table with a sledgehammer while singing The Hokey Pokey for 2018's Mom and Dad. His uncle, Francis Ford Coppola, even threatened to fire him because he insisted on speaking in a bizarrely high-pitched voice for 1986's Peggy Sue Got Married. But none of these really indicate anything other than his dedication. The bizarreness lies somewhere else. It's the other facts of his eventful life that make some people wonder if he's somewhere south of normal. Some may say a person's tomb may describe who the person really was when they were living. Usually, you have the rectangular gravestone with a writing that may have multiple meanings, such as it being your last words or just the general description of you. The problem is, it'll be quite hard to decipher the death message of Cage when he dies due to the peculiar tomb he has prepared. Standing in St. Louis Cemetery in New Orleans is a 9-foot pyramid tomb that carries a Latin maxim, Omni ab uno, which translates to everything from one. It's currently unoccupied, which made some speculate that it was made for him since he bought that plot and gave out that unique order. We don't really know what's the meaning behind this design, since the actor himself has never publicly commented on it, and it seems that we may never know. Speaking of death, a normal person usually stays away from these things, or anything that may relate to any paranormal connections to the afterlife. Some toy with it out of curiosity, while others just do it for fun. This actor seemingly does it for the feel of it. In a way, the industry calls it method acting, wherein a person tries to emotionally envelop their characters to better present it in front of the camera. During the promotion of Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance in 2011, actor Idris Elba remembers a certain incident with Cage on location in Romania. Noticing Cage appeared tired one day, Elba asked if he had gotten any rest. "Yeah man, I went up to Dracula's castle, the ruins up in the mountain, and I stayed the night," Cage replied. "I just had to channel the energy, and it was pretty spooky up there," Cage added. Furthermore, in 2007, as he was planning to write a horror novel, he realized that what better atmosphere is there to compose a scary story than in a haunted house. This was the motivation for Cage to buy the mansion in New Orleans, which was the home of an actual serial killer named Madame Delphine LaLaurie. Quote, "I bought it, figuring it would be a good place in which to write the great American horror novel. I didn't get too far with the novel," he said. He admitted that he found himself in a very spooky situation when he stayed in that mansion. If horror movies and novels taught us one thing, it's that you never really mess around with these things. Besides, his acting career and eccentric hobbies, another major area in Cage's life, is animals. For those who don't know, Cage is a well-known animal lover. He takes care of a lot of pets. He has pets that range from the usual house pets, such as cats and fishes and dogs, to exotic ones like snakes. He even uses them as inspiration to help him portray a character for a film. The Cobra, they would try to hypnotize you by going side to side. And when I did Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, that's something that my character does before he attacks. Animals are fun places to get inspiration, Cage said. There's no problem in getting inspiration from our beloved fur babies, but the way he integrates them into his acting is a bit strange. There was another interesting incident that involved his pets. Earlier in his career, he said he owned a cat named Louis, who enjoyed partaking in a stash of magic mushrooms when he was not looking. Finally, Cage just decided to give him some up front. "I remember lying in my bed for hours," he said, "and Louis was on the desk across from the bed for hours, staring at each other, not moving. But he would stare at me, and I had no doubt that he was my brother," he said. Accidentally giving some out to a pet or them finding it without us knowing would be understandable. But to give shrooms on purpose? It could raise a few eyebrows on whether or not Cage is even fit to be a pet owner. Although the statement about his cat being his brother is a little sweet. Well, as they say, sharing is caring. which just proves that he really cares for his pets, albeit in a questionable way. On another note regarding animals, he reportedly revealed that he had a dignified fashion of eating, a dietary preference that rules out pork, not really for health reasons, but for his unique perception towards animals. He says, quote, "I have a fascination with fish, birds, whales, sentient life, insects, reptiles. I actually choose the way I eat according to the way animals have sex. I think fish are very dignified with sex, so are birds, but pigs, not so much. So I don't eat pig meat, or things like that. I eat fish and fowl. What's that about?" We're not really sure as well, but at least he's trying to stay healthy in his own right. Another weird thing he is known for is his purchases. The Horror Mansion can be considered as one of them, but the list goes on, and each one is quite pricey. Nicolas Cage has bought multiple things that had extravagant prices for a good reason. In his perspective, at least. It got quite out of control as his spending went way too much, and noticed that he had to pay taxes over $6 million for the year 2007 alone. One of the purchases was an octopus that cost almost $500,000. Cage said that he purchased the octopus to help improve his acting. Oh, really? But nobody was really sure what he meant by that. Another animal that he thought about was a saber-toothed tiger. A popular purchase for him as a collector was the skull of a dinosaur, amounting to $276,000, in which he had to outbid another celebrity, Leonardo DiCaprio. Who'd have thought? It's quite hard to understand as to why he purchased such a thing, but it's his money, so it's really up to him. A lot of us have bizarre behaviors or actions that we can't really explain to other people properly for them to understand us. Some of us are ashamed of it, while others don't even notice it. In a way, then, we can kind of understand where Cage is coming from. But one has to admit, though, it's quite bizarre. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. We know Nicholas would.